Hey everybody, this is Jeff from the Great Heights and Barely Controlled Chaos. This is our homestead, and today we're getting ready to move the pigs. So we bought 3 pigs, as we talked about before. It's hot here today, by the way. It's really warm, and I'm wearing a black shirt, so if you see me sweating, nothing I can do about it. Anyway, we're getting ready to move the pigs. Now, we've done some research, and the best solution that we can find is we're going to put them out in the pasture. Now, these are not the mini pigs. These are the baby pigs that we bought a couple of months ago, or excuse me, a couple of weeks ago, just before we left. We're back now, and they've grown a little bit, and we're getting ready to put them outside. We're going to put them on pasture. That's the best way to do this. We're doing it for 2 reasons. The first reason is obviously pasture is good for them. 2, the area where they're going is going to be our garden. Let me walk you over there a little bit. I'm standing in the shade because it's cooler here. So you'll probably remember at the beginning of the year we started with the greenhouse and some of these little raised gardens. They're doing okay, but they're not our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal was to make a much bigger garden, and it's really actually going to be bigger than this, but this is what we've got so far. You can see the poles here, start right there. They go all the way up to the top up there. Point to it right there. There we go. That little thing in the middle, I'll talk about that in a minute. But then it goes over here and then stretches up there. So it's a pretty good sized area. It's not giant, but it's not meant to be. So that's what we've got so far. Now, here's what we've learned. We're going to do electric fencing for the pigs. We've got 2 lines of electric fencing, one at about 6 to 8 inches off the ground, and a second one here at 15 to 18 inches off the ground. That's right at snout height for the little pigs. Or the bottom one is going to be for little pigs, and obviously as they grow, it'll be snout height as they get bigger. So that's part 1. What I've learned from other homesteaders is that what you want to do is you want to set up a hut. I mean, obviously they need some shade, they need some enclosure, they need something to get out of the sun with. So what I've done here is I've got this set up. Now, right now it's all enclosed, and I just set this up yesterday, so it's not 100% complete. What I want to do here, what we're going to do actually is we're going to put the pigs inside this for the first day or so. I'm going to lift this side up because it is intended to be lifted up, but we're going to actually close them in here. And the reason is we kind of want them to understand that this is home base. Ooh, that's warm. We want them to understand that this is their home. What will happen if we put them in here prematurely and just let them run around is they will just run under the fence and run around and not stay in here. But if we put them in here for a couple of days and close them in with food, with water, with everything that they need, and then if we take, well, I'm going to use them, put a board across this opening here. But then when we take one of the boards out so that they know that they can come out, they'll slowly come out and explore. This has been explained to me by multiple other farmers as a method that works. We're going to hope that it works. I am going to set up the camera out here as well so that we can check on them and keep an eye on them. So hopefully this will work. But the goal here is to train them on the electric fence. Now, we have a couple of hurdles we have to overcome for the electric fence. Number 1 is that we do not have a solar charger anymore. This is something I'm hoping to rectify because we are a long way from the house. And the nearest outlet is right there, or somewhere in there. You can actually see I've cut a path with a lawnmower so that we know where we're putting the electrical cord, so we don't accidentally hit it with one of the lawnmowers or the big tractor. Ideally, I'm actually going to try to elevate it, but we're going to see right now if we can't get it. I just really want to get it working today. So we're going to see how that works.
I think that'll do.
So we got our charger out here. Like I said, this is not the ideal situation because this is not an outside charger. Well, I mean, it's not meant to be used out here. And we really need a solar charger out here to make this work best. But we got enough electrical cord, so we'll do this for a few days until we can get a solar charger. All right, so we did a quick check on the fence. Got no ticking anywhere. It is as hot as we can get it, and that's what we want. We want it nice and hot. Unfortunately, the truth of the situation is that if a pig wants to run through a fence, they're going to run through a fence. The fence is always just a deterrent. And if they learn it's there, then they're less likely to try to go through it. If they, you know, like I said, if they want to go through it, they're going to go through it, and there's nothing you can do about that. And but if they explore slowly, like I said when we were, we're going to put them out there, we're going to put them. It'll be a gradual introduction to that area, and therefore we'll be able to hopefully keep them contained. All right, so we are all set up now. He's got the truck, and he's coming back with the pigs and the boards to go on the front and back of the little hut that we built. And the electric's all set up. We got their food and their water. Well, we got their food and their water trays in there. And then we've got, we'll put some food out here. We'll get some water out here. And like I said, we're just going to close them into this little hut for a couple of days here, just to get them acclimated to this area. And then we will, and then we'll let them out. It is really hot today. I'm wearing a black shirt. Not the smartest thing I've ever done. Anyway, as you can see, our pigs are still really small. Well, smallish. So we're hoping that these boards right here will be enough to keep them in. They don't jump, so hopefully it'll work. All right, as you can see, they're in there. Had a little issue with the dogs going in there, but they didn't hurt the pigs. They just went around to sniff them. But they're in there. They got food and water. The next few days, I'm going to have to truck food out here so I can figure out a better solution. But at the moment, they've got food and water, and they are doing okay. So they're rooting around nice in there, and hopefully they'll do a really nice job tearing this up and making a garden. They are going to get moved at some point during the year, because we actually hope that they tear this up good enough that we can actually start using it as a garden late summer. So we'll get a late summer crop in here, and maybe actually get a little more produce out of our garden. So that's the hope. But this is our start. So there you go. That's the story of our pig move. So I haven't had any questions, and obviously I don't know if we're ever going to get any questions, but just in case anybody's wondering how we built this little hut here, this is really simple. You can see I took a piece of pig panel, and it's not the whole pig panel because my tarp's not that big, but I took a piece of pig panel and just pounded some T-posts in on one side to brace it, and then some T-posts in on the other side to brace it again on this side, and just humped it up a little bit, and then put a, like I said, a blue tarp over the top of it. These are actually our truck ramps. They're 12-foot 2x6s, so they're just long enough. No, they're not 12 foot. I'm sorry, they're 8-foot 2x6s, and they're just long enough for this little gap here, and just tall enough. One of the pigs actually did hop over it already, but immediately went right back in. So I'm hoping that means that they're going to stay in. but we'll see. Over the last couple of days, the kids and I have put in all these poles for this area, and we put in the electric fencing. We made sure it was nice and tight. We measured it. We put the poles 12 feet apart, except for these last set here, which I think is 11 feet on both sides, because, well, I can't measure. But we put all the poles in. We put them down nice and deep, because they're going to be, eventually they'll have some fencing around it with a gate, so we can get in here. So, the idea is that we'll keep the deer out. But at the moment they're in there nice and deep, and they're it's got electric fencing on it so that we can keep the pigs in. And that took us about a day. Well, yeah, it took about a day's worth of work. It's been really hot since we returned to Missouri, and it's just, you can only work out here for so long before you start getting exhausted. And so we're trying to be careful about how much we're outside, but we have to get outside and get some work done. So anyway, that's what we've done for that. If you enjoyed this video, I know it's a little short, but if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe down below, and share it with your friends. Make sure you ring the bell so that you get notified whenever we have new videos. And we'll keep you updated on this.